We are, as you know, also in the process of preparing potential legislative changes to the CSIS Act, the Security of Information Act, the Criminal Code, as a broader modernization of intelligence legislation and national security legislation. So Section 2 itself in the CSIS Act also governs a series of authorities properly embedded in national security legislation. So my conclusion was it would be better not to do a one-off and simply remove, for example, or change the definition in the Emergencies Act. I think if we're in the process of, and I hope presenting to Parliament in the coming months, legislation around modernizing national security legislation, we will be in the best position at that moment to make those corresponding amendments. We do need more time because it's complicated, as Commissioner Rouleau identified himself. A number of these recommendations touch directly on other orders of government. Changing the Emergencies Act necessarily has an impact in terms of the relationship between Canada and provinces and territories. We are prepared to look at the definition as contained in the Emergencies Act that references the CSIS Act, but we think a thoughtful discussion around modernizing national security legislation, which is coming in the next number of months. We are beginning detailed discussions with provinces on the Emergencies Act, but the good news is we're also going to be able to reflect on the broader discussion of national security legislation modernization. When the CSIS Act was prepared, there was no iPhone. You can see that there's a certain gap in some of those authorities. So we think a thoughtful, more holistic review of national security legislation is the time to deal with the very thoughtful recommendation in the Emergencies Act as well.